All right, so we have Maltech portrays itself to the public as a socially responsible company. Okay, so we know that M, at least to the public, looks like it's socially responsible. But critics charge that employees in many of its factories work in unsanitary conditions. Okay, so we know that to the public, they look like they're socially responsible, but critics say that their workers are working in unsanitary conditions. Unless these critics are mistaken, then M is not accurately portraying itself to the public. What is our conclusion, Zach?
The last sentence.
Yes, unless these critics are mistaken, then M is not portraying itself to the public. Is this a valid argument?
No.
No, because we're saying unless these critics are mistaken. So what are the critics saying? They're saying that their employees are working in unsanitary conditions. Is not, and how are they portraying themselves to the company? That they are socially responsible. So what assumption is this arguer or this writer making? What are they assuming are the same thing that really might not be the same thing?
That being socially responsible is the same as the conditions of what their employees are in?
Yeah, we're assuming that if you are working in unsanitary conditions, you cannot be socially responsible, right?
Yeah.
Or if you are working in or if you are a socially responsible company, you cannot be working in unsanitary conditions. So how does that apply to our argument? So if we're saying unless these critics are mistaken, then M is not accurately portraying itself to the public. Yes. So how could we word that before we even get to an answer choice that would guarantee our conclusion? We've done the tough work. What could that look like?
So you're asking how can we reword the conclusion?
No, I'm sorry. What premise, like if we were going to predict an answer, how could we say what we kind of already diagrammed as a premise that would be the correct answer?
Any company that's socially responsible doesn't have unsanitary conditions?
Yeah, absolutely. Or the opposite would be any company that has employees working in unsanitary conditions cannot be socially responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous. So Zach, you said B, correct? B or D?
I chose B pretty much though.
Okay, so
but I like D though if it wasn't B, but I chose B. I don't know why. Like that was kind of
so
stupid.
no company that conceals information from the public is socially responsible.
I took that more from like the first part of the sentence.
But what company is concealing information? Like that means hiding information. What information is being hidden?
Lying to the public about their conditions of sanitation.
But we don't know if that's true or not. We're just saying that critics charge this.
Okay.
And even if that were true, they're just saying that there's, like, once again, even with what you just did, you made the assumption that socially responsible, they're lying by not saying that they're working in sanitary conditions. So you also made the assumption that unsanitary conditions cannot be a socially responsible company. But maybe you can be socially responsible and have unsanitary conditions. In the real world, that doesn't make sense. But in the LSAT world, we need to make sure that we know, like, what is the definition of a socially responsible company? So we're in D, a socially responsible company. So we're connecting one part. A socially responsible company would not have employees working in unsanitary conditions. Yes, because this is literally what we predicted right here. Because if this is true, we're connecting that socially responsible company in unsanitary conditions. We're connecting two of our things and saying, hey, this is really strong. If we add this to our argument, it guarantees this conclusion.